Tonight, Furniture Film Classics presents Surrealist Theater, featuring Un Chaise Andalou.
Gentlemen, start your chaises. Hi, I'm Ed Feldman.
And I'm Joe Lorario, and if I did that anymore, it would be a stubby chaise.
Welcome to Furniture to Go. Remember our last chaise lounge?
Well, wait a minute. Don't change the channel now.
This one's only going to go 2 shows, not 8.
And we promise there will not be one show of extreme close-ups.
Why will this one be different? Well, number one, it's a modern chaise and more easily upholstered. No curved back. Remember that nightmare?
And we're not doing any padding or springs.
And because of the commercials, they cut out half the steps anyway.
So that leaves us with the beginning and the end of the show.
And if we keep talking, there won't be any middle either.
Well, we keep working towards a furniture show without furniture.
Well, I've seen a lot of comedy shows without comedy.
And they know who they are. That's fixed.
I'll see you next week.
This is a modern chaise, and it's just soiled and ripped.
And all it needs is a new fabric. And we have some fabric panels around the side. Point to them, sir.
Right here.
Where that full-piece seat is tacked to the frame. Wait a minute, hold on. You always have to inspect things carefully. Oh, it smells like a dog. Let's begin stripping the fabric carefully.
We're going to take this front panel off, is that correct?
Yes, with our
right,
little
sir.
pry guys. Now look, if you look very closely in here, remember the tack strips that I show you interminably?
These we have.
They're straight pieces of metal. That is not happening here.
This is a curvy.
This is a curvy, and
that?
if you will look closely, and if any of you have nightmares about the old chaise, you will remember that these curvies were 2 flanges. I love that word, flange.
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 Blancmange is funny also.
Look,
These were used to define the curved sides.
Right, you have one flange here with little sharp points in there, and you hook the fabric around it, and then you staple the other end of the flange.
I think that was the most exciting part of the chaise.
I'm going to say flange until the censors call. All of the bottom staples have been removed, and we also removed the cambric.
Or dust cover.
Not everybody all at once. Now we flip this up and
Never.
look. It's got one of these things, and under that,
This I remember from the ironing board.
it's got a tack strip. So grasp that.
You want to rip this off?
With your free hand, not the Tootsie Pop hand, and just rip it. Come on, there you go. Now I'm going to show you a little bit about staple removal. Margaret, where's the remote control? We push the claw in there and just pry it up.
Oh, boy.
And sometimes they pop right out.
That's exciting.
But sometimes one is caught on one side. So you see a little slot there. And we just take that, no.
Oh, boy.
And we turn it around. Now,
Isn't it easier just to grab it
no,
with a needle nose?
the other way is after you get it halfway out, you take the needle nose. Now, you don't pull it. That's goofus. This is gallant. You turn that. We take this first bottom panel. See, there's 2 panels. The bottom panel, the top panel. We flip this up, and we take the foam away, and it's real thin, cheap foam, which we will replace. And there you have a tack strip, too, covering the bottom of the fabric that is the next panel. And after we get this off, we will take this up, and you'll see another tack strips. So it's just series of tack strips, interminable tack strips, and we won't burden you with that.
Oh, look at this.
What have you been doing while I've been working?
This is music for prepared shays, like John Cage did.
You're traveling through another dimension.
Dimension not only of sight and sound, but of mind.
Speaking of dimensions, we got to get out of here and get some fabric for this shade, because now that we've screwed it up, we're really going to have to do it.
And this is where we got the fabric. So watch. I'm gonna size this table.
Music to paint fabric by. We wanted a special one-of-a-kind fabric for our chaise lounge, so we came to...
Smudges, where we could actually get hand-painted fabric.
Hi, Dan.
Hi, guys.
Nice voice.
Thanks.
Good.
This is Lorraine.
Hi, lady.
We've been hand painting fabric and wallpaper for about 14 years. We started in a basement, and we've moved up over the years. We distribute our product nationally through showrooms, and this is what we do, hand-painted fabric.
Well, let's
Great.
take a look at how this works and how this gets done.
Sure.
Hey, wait a minute. There ain't any paint in here.
Here's the real star of our operation. Patty, meet Joe and Ed.
Hi, lady.
Hi.
Show them what you do.
Thanks, Dan.
Sure.
Thank you.
Addio fiori.
Interesting man. Well, Patty, what's the name of the fabric that you're working on?
All right, this design is Rio.
Rio by the CO.
And that's the end product
Right.
that you're working off of. What's the actual fabric behind it?
This is beige sateen.
Oh, I was going to ask if that was a canvas or not, but it's not. Okay.
Yeah, we can paint on canvas.
So tell us how you go about it. What do you paint first?
Okay, we do the squares first, and then this is the next element.
Well, the square's done freehand? Or
No, we have a stencil, and then
Okay.
we mask it out with tape and paint it in
with
These-
a brush or with a roller?
with a brush.
These are freehand, though.
Right.
What do you call them?
They're the hot dog buns.
Oh, that's like this here. Huh?
Right, that element.
And then what's the green?
That's the mustard.
Oh, of course.
Lunch.
Can't have a hot dog without mustard.
So
Right.
what comes next?
All right, next would be the spiral.
The
We
universe.
do this,
Uh-huh.
and then the dots follow.
And I'm going to do some circles.
You sure?
Uh-huh. And you're going to make the mark of the Z.
The mark of the Feldman, or the zigzag, because I work with springs.
Right. Oh, we've got to put on the spiral now.
Right.
And that's a little squeeze bottle.
Right.
Around and around and, oh, look.
Beautiful.
Just like my brain.
So that
Okay.
has a little tip.
You got a little tip we put on. Yours
Now,
has a wider
I'm going
one.
to do a circle. I'll do a circle right
Right.
here. Is that good?
Yeah.
Circle near the square. Pull in the block.
Circle gets, look at that circle.
Perfect.
Oh, it's a
I
beautiful
graduated
circle.
from the Academy of Circles.
Is that an accredited university?
Now. But look, I made this one big. I got to make this one a little bigger.
No, they don't,
You
because
make
it's
it
art,
big,
man.
Ed.
It's
Look, I'm going to do a
hand-painted.
zigzag. Let's watch. How's that?
Perfect.
Hey, Sergeant Garcia.
That's a W or an M, depending. So, Patty, how long would it take you to do the 10 yards that you're doing today?
Approximately a day, a full
a
day's
day?
work.
Well, what if we helped you?
2 days.
Thank you, and good night, ladies and gentlemen. Look, it's the flag of Liechtenstein as designed by Roy. Well, look, our friends at Smudges made us this other fabric because it turned out the client, the person who owns the chaise, didn't want that fabric we saw them make. But this is nice. It's called Hera.
Hera.
Hera. Hera, guide my aim. That's what Wonder Woman used to say
This-
when she threw the rope.
This is the release cut that we made after we traced the pattern of the old chaise fabric. We removed, we laid it down, traced around it, and this is the release cut now that will go through the arm, correct?
Right. The release cuts are cuts that are made so that one half of the fabric goes around one piece of wood that defines an arm, a structural piece, and the other goes on the other way. And we have one here for that corner piece, and we even have one for back here. We've got release cuts galore.
All over, so let's release it.
The other thing we worried about, or were concerned about, is how the fabric played out on this big butt end of the chaise.
Yeah, but-
And we wanted something bold so that will cross our canvas.
But-
There's a canvas that one sits
But
on.
when are we going to get to putting this on now? We're
Well,
going to do that now?
Sure, let's do
Okay.
it. We lay it down and out and let it play out, and then we move over to here. This is what the release cut is gonna go around. Pardon my back.
Please release me, let Amigo.
And when you pull that down, you always fold that little triangle in. This part will go on this side and it'll be folded down. And of course, I've always got my scissors very handy so that I can increase the release, as we say.
You gonna
Yeah.
push this through?
Yeah. Okay, now I've got
There we
one
go.
end of the fabric here and the other tail here.
Wait, you got it all out?
No.
Okay. Hey, that looks nice.
Does it? Time to go home, I think. Now, I see it's still bunching up here, where
Yeah.
that first release cut was.
Gotta pull some of it back.
I think we need to increase the release cut.
Increase the release?
Increase the release. Wow. The other thing we have to keep making sure is that there's the same amount of overhang here as here. And there's way more overhang over here.
You know what this looks like? The beginning of the Jetsons.
I think so. Dun, 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 dun.
There's Boy Elroy.
All right. We want to line it up. Now, since there's more on this side than on this side, that means we have to increase the release cut.
Hey, but what's this release over here for, Mo?
Oh, that's for that arm over there. Why, you.
Come here, you.
That's okay. Just increase your release cuts little by little, working out all the kinks and or
The Ray Davies.
the Ray Davies, who really is not good live. Now, as I pull this down
Whoa!
for the increased release, see, I'm going to fold this over so it'll always have a tailored look there. And remember, the arm's going to come down here and hide anything like that. That's starting to look better and better. You got to keep working around. It's like a big mural.
Muriel.
We've finished our release cuts all the way as far as we dare, and now we have to pull various parts of the fabric
Of the fabric.
and start tacking. Now, the first staple
This was done to my aunt's face, you know.
goes in the middle,
The doctor she went to used to be an upholsterer.
and then we're going to pull to the side. Now, that first staple might be a little too tight when we start to define our shape, but it's just there. We're going to do the points of the compass. It's just there to hold everything.
I failed compass in Boy Scouts.
You did.
Cooking, I got a merit badge. Compass, I got lost.
Out in the middle of the wilderness, and you're making cannelloni.
Wait a minute.
I'm going to put one there.
See that wrinklage there?
Yeah, this is a very critical
There
part.
it goes.
Because when I
See?
pull this tail in here,
There you
and he
go.
pulls back there, it's good to have maybe a dozen or so friends with you.
Yeah,
when you
have a
do
chaise
something.
party, a fabric pulling party.
And now I'm going to go around to the other
Go
side.
ahead, go around there.
Go around there.
I'll meet you around the corner in a half an hour.
Okay, little choreography in my how-to is always good. The only thing we're going to have to do here is make some pleats, because this bulbous end is going to require pleats. And when you make a pleat, all you have to do is fold it over gently and put a staple right through both ends, like that. Now I'm going to go over there and I'm going to make a pleat there. I made one pleat here. Going to make one pleat here. Equidistant, sort of,
Equidistant, sort of.
from that center staple. See? Dips up, pull it down, so it's straight.
There we go. Oh, let's hear the timpani.
I love when you say, there we go.
There we go.
See this? This is
There
pleated
we
down
are.
here. Don't worry, there's going to be a row of that skirt there, so you won't see that pleat.
There we are.
And now we just pull down, filling in so our shape is...
But it's got some bumps here. That'll come out in the wash.
Sure, because there's going to be 98,000 staples, and each time...
Just as many as were pulled out.
Yeah, and each time we pull down one of the areas to staple,
You'll more clearly define the curve.
You are so right.
Perfect.
Let's start to move down the side here.
You start. I'm going to go over here and have a drink.
Pulling and putting in the last of the staples.
Oh, that was written by Fenimore Cooper's brother, Hal. Hal Fenimore.
Very good. And Joe, while I do this, could you just rub the top of my head Oh, that's so restful.
Does that make you go, does that make it better if I go all like this and crazy?
Okay, that's enough. Starting to get too excited. So, we're putting in the last of the staples.
What is that, Jerry cream?
And believe me, I got a lot of staples in here because the next rat that takes this apart is going to suffer.
It's the skirt.
Like we suffered. So I put 2 little pleats on this side and 2 little pleats to match the other side.
I'm picking off dandruff.
If you'll recall, back to when we took the perimeter strips off, there were 2. We're not doing 2, we're doing 1. Why, you may ask? Because they wanted to cut the job in half. No, it's not it. It's because of the...
It's easier.
No, that's not it either. It's because this pattern, or patron, is so elaborate. If you put it in 2 small strips...
Oh, they'll believe that.
It would be cacophonous. And we want... Yeah, it's because it's easier.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now he admitted it.
So, we have the tape measure, which we set at 8 inches.
But it'll look just as nice.
And that's how much we want to come up, because we see that the old tack strip was attached here. We can see by the little holes in the wood. How do we do this? Just like we do outside arms, outside backs, outside everything. We get a staple gun.
Take the gun.
And we take this. Oh, I had it set on just the right amount.
Oh, gee,
there.
I didn't know.
And then...
I'm sorry, Mo.
That's all right. Why, you?
Remind me to kill you later. You put the tack right through the tape measure.
And then I'll put the tack strip right there. Oh, I'm ruined.
Ruined. He's ruined. Jump out the window.
I'm ruined. Tack strip with the staple right on the top.
Now let's go.
Gosh. Just waiting for the call from Ted Mack. We start going down here. 8 inches. Set it there.
Look, they actually measure.
First time for me.
First time a measuring tape has ever been shown on this show.
Okay, get it up
What are you
there.
talking about, Dave?
Now, what I want you to do is to pull the fabric, too.
Uh-huh. How's that?
Very good. That's enough.
Optimo Admiral.
Bring it over. Oh, if it looked any better, I would surely weep. Now I'm going to go all the way to the other side.
I think we've seen enough of this, though.
Oh, what he really wants to do is direct.
What I really want to do is brush some varnish.
We're going to do this all the way around the other side.
Yeah, but lucky you can have a sandwich.
Oh, big Scungili sale downtown, and Joe had to go get some. So what I'm going to do is I'm now going to put the padding underneath this side strip. I'm not going to use foam like we did before. I'm going to use Dacron. And this is a sheet of Dacron that I've halved. I've cut it apart, so you can cut this apart. And now I'm not going to put in many staples because I just want it to sort of sit in there. I'll pull the top over like this, and as I pull it tight, look at that nice bevel it gets. And I'll just put a staple down there, and then I'll work out to the edge, and as I pull it, it's getting a beautiful bevel. Isn't that beautiful? Somebody's at the door. Yes?
Say, listen. Is this the place where they do with the 2 guys that do the furniture show?
Yeah.
Well, I got something for you, Mac.
What is it?
It's a fan letter.
Please send us lots of letters, especially if they have dirty pictures. Dear Jerks with Tools, enclosed are some photos of a unique chair, which everything's unique, which I like to refer
They think it's all unique.
Oh, yeah, Sears. Please give me your advice. I don't anticipate problems. Not that we don't like Sears, and we would certainly enter into any kind of an agreement with them.
Come on.
I don't anticipate problems with the stripping, but I'm worried about obtaining a proper finish. Will you suggest a formula? Well, any formula is nice.
Formula Vicks, Formula 44 is good
I like
if you
the
got a chest
quadratic
cold.
formula, but a nice formula for this kind of a chair would be a lovely varnish, I think. Just make sure it's cleaned. Also, the chair is stuffed with horsehair, which can be very uncomfortable. Should the horsehair be discarded, and is there some type of barrier that can be placed between it being horsehair? And the new upholstery. Bill Wendell down front leading the Greek chorus.
Need Mitch Miller here.
Yes, you can. Oh, what would the barrier be? A lovely...
The barrier reef.
The great... You know, I dived
I
off
know.
of the Great Barrier
Thank you
Reef.
very much, ma'am.
You would put muslin on it. Muslin in between the... horsehair. And the fabric.
Thank you, Gene Mads.
Meds.
This is from
Brownsville, Wisconsin.
This is from Johnny the Stripper, John P. Pagolin. He says, thanks for your show. I find it very helpful and entertaining. I'm a big fan of yours. About 300 pounds.
Rim shot, baby.
I need some advice on 2 pieces. Both are made of oak, and I would like to refinish and restore them to their original splendor for resale as collectible pieces or antiques. Ooh. So he wants us to give him information. He wants to resell them, and we get no cut.
Not at all. But he sent us a picture.
What kind? Yeah. What kind of stain and or finish should I apply to them? Well, the mission style desk is a really nice piece. It looks similar to the one that we did on our mission show, and that looks like a real mission piece. So you might check it for a tag underneath, might say Gustav Stickley or
I doubt it.
JG or whatever.
Limbert or
Cheese. He was a big cheese. But anyway, check the thing for stickers and get it appraised because it may be a real Stickley. Also, the little table, that's kind of like a hall table, Victorianus kind of stuff. And if it's oak, just strip it down with a paste remover, and you could either do the natural finish with some shellac and a varnish, or you can stain and varnish.
So send us plenty letters because we like to read them, and we're literate.
Sometimes we can't answer all your letters, but we will read the better ones, and everybody will get a nice, shiny, glossy.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm, what's his name, Ed Feldman.
And I'm Joe Lorario. Be nice to your furniture.